All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. This is
Good
Boss Move Morning Pep. How you guys doing today?
morning. Okay. I'm all
Awesome.
right here. I'm here.
Okay. Like we got to do, we got to get that energy. That's the one thing is when you're a boss, you have to dig deep down inside and make it happen for the week ahead. Sometimes you just want to keep that cover over your head, but when the buck stop with you, you have to somehow generate and find the will. You got to will yourself. You don't always feel like jumping out of the bed like, it's Monday. But sometimes we have to do is will ourselves in. So that's what we're going to do today. We get a chance to press reset. So we get to look at how we did last week. Did we accomplish any goals? Did we do any short-term goals? How did our week end up? Is there something that we can improve on? We have a fresh new day. We get to start over. We get to be brand new. I love that. When I think like that, that helps me to look at my past like a rear view mirror, make some adjustments, and I got the whole front shield. I get the chance to accomplish many more things this week. So one of the things we wanted to talk about is, since we are trying to be, most of us are trying to be in business for ourselves, we always have to try to think about what can help us to be in business. What are some things that successful businesses do, or regard to your network, right? So then I came across something that I'm learning and that I have learned by being in business. Is called the law of reciprocity. So you may say, well, what is that? Well, the law of reciprocity is a principle, is one of the basic laws of social psychology. It says that in many social situations, we pay back what we receive from others. In other words, if John does you a favor, you're likely to return it to him. So you think, well, wow, that's interesting. Is that a little selfish? Well, when it comes to business, the way business survive is you want to support your network. So you think about, what network are you building around you? If someone in your network, for example, let's just take this real basic. If someone in your network has a laundromat and another person in your network has a small store, do you go in and you support that store? And in return, if you have a business, say you have, let's say, an insurance company, you go shop in that store because that's in your network, will that person feel compelled to return the favor? So this law of reciprocity is really huge. A lot of times we may not understand how beneficial that can be. So do we look for opportunities to support other businesses that's in our network? And a lot of times, in business, sometimes if we're not careful, we just have the mindset, well, how can people buy my stuff, buy my stuff, my stuff? Well, a lot of times it's just not about that. It's about creating relationships, and creating value. So if we want people to cater to our businesses, we definitely have to be value. So we don't want to just say tick for tack. But then again, in business, it is tick for tack. But you also want to be able to have value. So you don't want to take advantage of your network. You want to support your network. So if you have something of value, then you definitely want to do that. So I came across an article, and it says reciprocity and the business person. It says that someone who is running or is aspiring to run their own business, there are a couple of ways you can choose to use this power for good or evil, or for our purposes, the right way and the wrong way. So what would you think would be a wrong way of this type of, anyone have any ideas of what you might think is the wrong way of using reciprocity?
Oh, you mean like just to kind of benefit yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah, just benefiting, not thinking about no one else, just benefiting you, and not putting anybody else in your, you know, thinking of anyone else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that
Mhm.
yeah, that could be a way. And also is maybe not delivering good quality, right? So we definitely want to support, and sometimes when we support others, it doesn't necessarily mean that that very same person is going to give back to us, but it's a good habit of doing.
Mm-hmm.
It says the right way, one of the hardest parts of a new business relationship is building trust and a rapport.
Mm-hmm.
So, and to do that, there are some things you have to establish up front with a new prospect to show them you're one of the good guys. Things like your intent, empathy, and credibility. And especially when you're new, because you're going to get challenged. People are going to question you, or you're the new kid on the block. Who are you? So a lot of times that
Mm-hmm.
this trusting, because people do business with people who one they like and who they trust. So in
Mm-hmm.
order for us to build that type of rapport, first of all, we should practice. That's who we should be.
Mm-hmm.
We should be trustworthy in our thoughts and our actions. And so the first type of people who may support your business is people who know you. And if you're the type of person to show up for them, they'll probably give you an opportunity. So, and then they will help add to your credibility.
Yeah, that's true. I was looking at the information and Alexa sent me over information about the marketing, the job market where you do the bidding. And I'm gonna call them today to see because it's set up until the 21st. That's tomorrow, the 21st. So she kind of, she hooked me up with that, but it's just that the dates were a little off. So I said, maybe you never know that it might still be open,
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
I was just, and I loved the way she looked out because she, as she said, she worked hard on doing that. So that's we trust each other. So she trusted them. So hopefully I can get that together today because I think they open like at 9. I think those businesses.
Hmm.
nine
Most
o'clock when you do the bidding, yeah. So
yes.
I was grateful that she looked out for me with that. And I have to try to see if I can get because we still all trying to figure it out,
Yeah.
how to
Yeah.
get
Very
in and
good.
yes.
Very good, Tanya. And that's what it's all about, that law of reciprocity. Like you reached out to her, she helped you with certain things, right? You went to her to help you to get your business started, and then that's moving her. She wants to see you succeed, and
Mm-hmm.
that is we really do not want to take that for granted. That's why it's important to network. Sometimes you have to you look at your industry. You need to go network, reach out to people, see if there is a way you can support. Like when they have it, sometimes they have those vendor events, and you go around and visit other
Mm-hmm.
tables. See if there's something that you can do that you can, if you want to do business with that person first. One of the biggest compliment is someone willing to spend money in your place of business.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people they're so quick for you to spend money in their place of business, but they won't give you the time of day. Well, you know what? Um, it's a person's choice, but after a while, why won't you give me the time of day? Is it because, maybe, I don't, am I not bringing value to you, or you just have this block up? So you definitely want to do business with people who are willing to do business with you. And that's why you look for that network, right? It's about, it has to work for everybody. It has to make
I
sense for everybody.
I agree because I was telling you how a young lady approached me about, you have to get this and get that. But I said I'd rather stick with my team because I know, where I've been getting my kudos from, especially getting me helping me do all this the information with the banking and just little things getting help with because if I don't want to leave my team and just to go with somebody else and then they will hook to other people, but then you don't want to, you know, people
Hmm.
that gave you a head start and then you looking at them like, wait a minute.
Right. Yeah.
I want to be able to stick with people that help me out. So, and I also wanted to ask about the because you was mentioning about this vendor information. I have the application here.
Hmm.
So, what do you do when you I don't know. Do you need a or like Adobe to fill it out? You know how you have Adobe online.
Oh,
Is
like
that it?
with the software, so you could type it, fill it out on your computer.
Well, I ended up printing it because I think I had. I'm not sure, but anyway, yeah. So when you brought up the vendor information, I had to paper. I printed it last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, you want to stick with your team and do things. When somebody is looking for you, you got to look out for your team as well.
hmm And also your customers, like there's clients that we have, we've been in certain, now I'm in the mortgage business, I'm in the insurance business, we definitely, if they have a restaurant and like say if we having a function, a lot of times when we did workshops and we would order food, what we would do is buy from them. We would get one of our customers who had their own restaurant, and we would actually order food, and their
Mm-hmm.
food would cater our events because we appreciate them doing business with
Right.
us, and that moves us to want to practice that law of reciprocity. And that is a good way. So when a person is, sometimes you're like, where am I get my client base? Look for look for companies that you could service that you can do an act of kindness for. You know, it's not always about so much. It's not always maybe a cash at the time. It may not even be a cash transaction. Maybe you have a certain gift or talent that at that time you see that business might, you might offer your services because in turn, if you're doing that, a good conscientious person is going to want to find a way um, to um, to give back. It may be it may be referrals. Referrals is huge. Oh, how did you hear about us? Such and such. You know what? So you want to thank that person. That's a way because maybe you did something nice for them. So it's not always a cash transaction, but it can be other transactions that will give you just as much as value. So when you're first starting out, and to continue, see how we could provide some type of service or act of kindness to someone that's in a business that's a one law. A lot of people might forget about that law or don't understand, but that is an overall law, that law of reciprocity. It does bring a lot of value in your business in long term.
I
So that's
agree.
something that, okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tanya. What you
No,
say?
no, no. I was just saying I agree with that. You not to say so much look out for those who look out for you, but you do. You have to,
Yeah,
and to it, you got to be compassionate about what you do as well.
right,
Because you get, like you said, you can't look at people like cash cows. No,
right.
no,
Yeah,
So you got to look at them like this is my person that I helped out. They're helping me out, and
yeah.
we kind of help each other.
Exactly. Yeah. And why wouldn't you want people in your network or your service or your customer base to do well? Because you enrich each other. If my network is doing well, that's just going to increase. They says your net worth is the size. You look at your network, then you look at your net worth. So if my network is doing well, you see, it's the money circle, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have our networking group. And we look at that network. Well, if I'm gonna spend this dollar, how can that dollar circulate with my customer base or with my network? Can I use it there? And you see, that's how you build a strong community. So that's something we want to keep in mind. So my goal is to how can I enhance or bring value to those that's in my network. So that's my goal this week, and it's a goal to practice anyway. So that's
Right.
just a
Mm-hmm.
tidbit for our Monday pep. And, we say, thank you, Tanya, for showing up for Boss Moves. And, Boss Move is when we're here to take control of our lives and make our lives better for ourselves, for our family, for our friends. Because a boss shows up, the buck stops here. Okay. All right. So listen, have a great week, everybody, and see you next
All
Monday.
right.
All
See you too. Have a good day.
right.
Thank you.